Hello, and thank you for watching this how-to video of the Fat Nasty Dirty Bass Wobbler. This is a monophonic synthesizer patch for the program Max. To get started, you'll need to configure your input settings on your MIDI device. Several of the parameters of this patch are controllable using the buttons, knobs, sliders, and wheels on your MIDI controller, as well as taking key inputs. To choose your controller, click the MIDI in object and select your controller. I happen to be using the M-Audio Oxygen 25. Next, click the Oxygen 25 object and a subpatch will open. This is where you will assign your controller's inputs to the inputs of the patch. As you press a button or turn a knob, its number will show in the left of the two boxes here. Assign it to the corresponding controller. The standard Oxygen 25 has 6 buttons, 8 knobs, a slider, and 2 mod wheels. If you have more control parameters, feel free to add them, as the system is pretty flexible. The pitch bend is assigned automatically, but the mod wheel needs to be adjusted. If you are unfamiliar with how to create, link, assign, and scale new control parameters, this may be difficult for you. The source for the synthesizer comes in the form of 2 oscillators. The first oscillator has a white noise and pink noise generator. Both oscillators have sine, rectangle, triangle, and sawtooth wave generators. The signal generators of each oscillator can be toggled using the first button of your assignment subpatch and adjusted using the slider. You can toggle between and adjust the values of the signal generators going to each oscillator. By doing this, you build the timbre of your synthesizer. The 2 oscillators default at being an octave apart, but you can customize the interval. You can blend the 2 oscillators together. You can adjust the mix between the 2 oscillators in the section below them. However, these values only go between 0 and 1. Having both at unity is usually pretty safe. The bottommost section is the output and recording stage. You can adjust the recording gain, but unity is usually safe. Here you can create a file using the 4th button on your assignment subpatch. The 5th button will begin recording and stop the recording with a second press. The current runtime will be displayed in milliseconds, just as it records the audio for this demo. The parameters can be adjusted using a toggle matrix similar to the oscillators. Using the 6th button in your assignment subpatch, you can toggle which of the 4 banks of parameters is adjusted by the 8 knob inputs of your assignments as well, derived from your MIDI controller. The first bank allows the attack, decay, sustain, and release of the amplitude envelope to be adjusted using the top row of 4 knobs. The bottom row adjusts the delay time, feedback, and the dry and wet signal of the delay effect. Note how this also adjusts the BPM of the sample sequencer, but more on that later. You'll notice turning the knobs past certain thresholds illuminates a red LED. This is to show if any particular parameter has gone past a standard amount. The upper limits of several parameters are set cacophonously high for traditional music uses, as to allow the subpatch to also be used for sound design. The LEDs are included to help troubleshoot and track down any parameters that might be causing unpleasant sounds. The second bank of parameters are the ADSR of the low-pass filter envelope on the top row, and the parameters of the low-pass filter itself on the bottom row. Note how the same LED indicators are included to show when the low-pass filter might be out of hand. The next bank of 8 are a direct duplication of the low-pass filter structure, but adjusting a high-pass filter instead. Just like the low-pass filter, it also comes with excess LED indicators. The final bank of 8 parameters adjusts the bank of miscellaneous effects, as well as the sample speed of your sequencer. The first miscellaneous effect is a pitch shift function. The second, a distortion effect. The third and fourth parameters are part of a bit crusher effect and have appropriate LEDs for when the sample rate and bit depth have been overdone. If you come across a collection of parameters you particularly enjoy, you can store and recall it for later in the preset section. Be careful though, as toggling presets clears your sample sequencer and stops any audio tracks from recording any further. A sample sequencer is a standard step sequencer that will play to the speed of the BPM. It can be adjusted manually or synchronized with the delay. Your samples are loaded into the program using the Replace button. You can adjust the level of your sample using the slider on the left. You can then click and scroll using the third and fourth number boxes on the top row to crop your sample. Crop it using the Crop button. Then, select All to ensure the full sample plays when triggered. Here you see me repeating the process 2 more times, loading in samples I've previously recorded from this patch. I've input a simple pattern for the sequencer to play, just to make it obvious which sample is playing when. Now, I can use my final 4 knobs to adjust and freely manipulate the playback speed of the samples going into the sequencer. Values below 1 will slow the sample and pitch shift it down. Values above 1 will speed it up, pitch shifting it up. Remember, the BPM of the sequencer can either be adjusted manually or synchronized with the delay. Thank you for downloading the Fat Nasty Dirty Bass Wobbler, and thank you for watching this demo video. A PDF manual is available for download as well for reference. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a line at adamkowalskiaudio@gmail.com.